Tonight, two schools collide in a battle of smarts. Lancaster Country Day versus Cumberland Valley. The final two teams left after months of competition against dozens of local schools. Now, they get to take their place in the spotlight on the big stage for the big showdown. The tough questions are ready and valuable prizes are on the line. Live from Whitaker Center in Harrisburg, it's the Capital BlueCross BrainBusters Championship. Here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Live from Whitaker Center for Science and the Arts. Good evening and welcome to the championship final of Capital BlueCross BrainBusters. I'm your host, Rich Rosen, and I invite you to join me for a special night of exciting academic competition. This season, 50 teams of high school students competed in our tournament, and tonight we meet our final two contenders. Please help me welcome from Cumberland County, the Cumberland Valley High School Quiz Bowl team, coached by Mrs. Donna Benson, teacher of the gifted and talented. The team's alternate is Mr. Jacob Hansen, a junior. Good luck to all of you. Now just a few steps away on stage, but all the way across the Susquehanna Valley, please help me welcome the Lancaster Country Day School BrainBusters team. This team is coached by Dr. Jeremy Williams, physics teacher. The team's alternate is Mr. Andrew Berkowitz, a senior. Now, this marks Lancaster Country Day's debut on the show, and what a debut it's been. Now, there's a lot at stake, including $5,000 in scholarship money to one of the 14 great universities that make up PASHE, or the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, a generous cash scholarship from Capital BlueCross, and Capital BlueCross, our corporate sponsor, will give away literally thousands of dollars worth of prizes to each of the winning team members, as well as many of their lucky peers, but we're going to fill you in later on the prize package. Well, you know, this is so exciting to see such excitement and thrills here live for an academic competition. And that's why I'm not doing this alone. Thankfully, News 8's Lori Burkholder is joining me. Lori, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, Rich, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me back again. By the way, congratulations to the two teams for being here tonight. And you got all your fans? Guys, because we all know that the winning team will get to take home thousands of dollars in prizes to their schools. So that's why those guys are excited. Plus, they're friends of all these guys up here. So we're looking for a lively competition tonight. And by the way, we did spend time with both teams to find out how they're getting ready for tonight. So we'll share a little bit of that with you a little later on in the broadcast. But Rich, we got a lot to get to, so let's go right to you.
All right, Lori, don't go far. We'll be heading back to you shortly. Okay, the table is set for a great competition. Ladies and gentlemen in the studio audience, viewers at home, and most importantly, the 8 people behind me, let's get to work. Here comes today's opening round. 10-point questions, one big brain buster, thanks to our friends at Pizza Hut. Pick up those signaling buttons and use them frequently. Beginning now. One's called bionomics. It's the science of the relationship between organisms and their environment. What's it called today? Michael.
Ecology.
Ecology is correct for 10 points. Its function is hooking up words and phrases and clauses. What part of speech, Adam?
Conjunction.
A conjunction is the part of speech that it is. In a recent survey of high school juniors, a third of them could not identify the document that marked the formal separation of the 13 colonies from Great Britain. Michael.
Declaration of Independence.
And we trust you're not one of them, and you prove that you are not. Muslims celebrate Muharram. For Jews, it's Rosh Hashanah. What is it on the Christian calendar? Ooh, we stumped you, I'm sorry, it wasn't in time, on the new year. If your name is Miller, you might have an ancestor who made flour. If your name is Fletcher, what might your ancestor have made? Michael?
Arrows.
Arrows is absolutely correct. He was awarded the 1958 Nobel Prize in Literature, but wasn't allowed to accept it. Who was the Russian author of Dr. Zhivago? Nate?
Sakharov.
No, sorry, that's incorrect. Cumberland Valley. John?
Pasternak.
Pasternak. Boris Pasternak is correct. Sometimes losers of elections become famous in his or her own way. In 1948, Nate?
Dewey.
Thomas Dewey, the Chicago Tribune, of course, said this man had beaten Harry Truman. Good anticipation, and that gets you on the board. Some long-running Broadway musicals have memorable songs. In what musical will you hear Dance 10, Looks 3, and What I Did for Love? Ooh, Jonathan?
Chorus line?
That is correct. A chorus line just returned to Broadway. It can precede both crane and cough. What is this unusual adjective, Nate?
Whooping.
Whooping is absolutely correct. Yes, and now it's time for the Big Brain Buster, brought to you by Pizza Hut. Make it a big night in and order the Big Night In deal from Pizza Hut. For 10 points and a gift certificate to Pizza Hut for each team member, let's head over to Entertainment Tonight and Mary Hart. Mary?
Hey, thanks, Rich. It's a pleasure to be a part of this year's championship final of Capital Blue Cross BrainBusters. So here is the big BrainBuster question, and good luck. His 1929 movie Blackmail was the first talking picture in British film history. What director was knighted for films such as The Lady Vanishes, The Man Who Knew Too Much, Rebecca, and Rear Window? Again, good luck with your answer. And now back to you, Rich, at Whitaker Center in Harrisburg.
Thanks, Mary. Okay, Adam, you were the first to ring in.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock is correct. Congratulations, Cumberland Valley. Those Pizza Hut coupons are coming your way. He convinced Southern farmers, he convinced Southern farmers to plant new soil-enriching crops by finding hundreds of uses for peanuts, soybeans. Michael?
George Washington Carver.
George Washington Carver. And sweet potatoes, the American botanist was Carver, as Michael had said. The Chinese government calls it Xizang. What is this former Asian, Michael again?
Tibet.
Tibet is this former kingdom which China invaded and annexed in 1965. Emily Dickinson wrote the following lines. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves, and what 11-letter word completes this stanza? Ooh, back to English class, and you'll remember immortality. He hit 61 home runs in 1961 to set a single-season record. John?
Roger Maris.
Roger Maris, and of course it stood for 37 years. Built in 1802 on the site of an 18th century fortress on the Hudson River, its graduates earned Bachelor of Science degrees and the rank, Nate?
West Point.
West Point, of course, in the rank of second lieutenant. Fractions can sometimes be difficult to add or subtract. For example, what is the sum of 1/2 plus 1/3 plus 1/6? Michael?
1.
1 is correct. In May 1940, ooh, that sound takes us to the end of the round and to our first break. Gives everyone a chance to relax for a bit. We're going to get ready for the one-on-one rapid fire and a behind-the-scenes look at our students and schools. But first, let's hear some great sounds from the Cumberland Valley High School Jazz Band under the direction of Mr. Scott Ainscough.
And he shows them pearly whites. Just a jackknife has old McHeath, babe, and he keeps it tucked out of sight. You know when that shark bites with his teeth, babe, scarlet billows, they start to spread. Fancy gloves, though,